Amazon games are truly insane. The content that they've just announced, I'm honestly like kind of shocked and surprised at. There is a lot here, and I'm genuinely surprised, impressed, and excited. They've posted this today, but they've also done a dev video, and the promise of what's to come in New World is genuinely now exciting for me. And I don't think I could have said that since probably we had Rise of the Angry Earth. It's truly that good. There's been this in a dev video. I'll not show you too much from the dev video apart from like some footage. It's not like we're going to react to it, but I will talk about the stuff that they said because it's very important. Now we'll do it in the order of this article. First things first, it's coming on May 13th. Fair enough. And we'll not read the list here. We'll actually just go through and do the individual ones. The first one that they talk about is a little bit weird chronologically because it's also something that's not coming at the launch of May 13th in Season 8. It's going to be the hardcore seasonal world. This is actually going to come in early June, sort of like conflict with Dune Awakening, but okay, fair enough. I won't go through everything here, but effectively the goal in the hardcore seasonal world is to not die and to do content like the Gorgon raid. If you do that, you'll get the Unfallen rewards. If you do die though, you're not completely out of the equation. What can happen is that your character will get like attribute buffs. I think it's like capped at maybe like 125 or something like that, they said in the dev video. So your character will be stronger. Also worth noting that you'll be able to actually just equip unlimited artifacts. So you could literally have a full set of artifacts, which will be fun just to try. All of the rewards that you get though are going to get sent to your main character. So it'll be things like skins and apparently an item that will let you craft any artifact of your choice. So they said if you're trying to get Serenity and you've been struggling, well, you can come and do that and you then can craft your item. I don't know how you get that reward, but apparently you will be able to do that. They also said that this seasonal server will be sort of shorter, so leveling and gearing is obviously going to be faster, and they said you might even be able to do it in like 2 or 3 sessions, by the way. And there's also going to be a streamlined main quest line, which a lot of people are being like, oh lols, they're redoing the MSQ. I think this is basically just to get you through, they kind of say as much, get you into Brimstone, get you into the Elysian Wilds, so you don't have to unlock everything, get the heart runes, etc. Just to basically blast you through the story. Fair enough. All sounds very cool. You don't get to keep your character though, so if you're like a new player, don't play on this server because it wouldn't really make any sense. Either way, really cool. The new Outpost Rush map is officially confirmed to be coming. We've been playing it all week. We've played it in the preview weekend, then all week. It's not very exciting because we've been there, done that. And then, because I don't know why they don't really learn these lessons, I guess we don't have a PTR now, we just have preview events, but personally I kind of feel like it takes away the hype, but then again so did the PTR. But what we have now is that we're going to get some new preview events of some new PvP modes. The main one being Capture the Flag. And actually there's going to be 2 different maps and therefore 2 different previews. This is going to be a 10v10 mode, and there's going to be like power-ups that are going to like increase your health and your power, as well as like booster pads, jump pads and stuff like that. It's going to be 10v10. There's going to be 2 flags. You're going to get your flag and bring it back to your base, or their flag and bring it back to your base. Very Warsong Gulch-esque, I think, from World of Warcraft. But you know what? I'm definitely here for that. There's one that's kind of like Ebon Scale Reach themed. And there's another that I don't really know how to describe it. Kind of looks like Windswood, but with a castle. I don't know, looks cool either way. This, by the way, is going to go in some kind of like rotating game mode, so they're a bit worried about splitting the player base between a shed ton of queues, which is fair enough. So they're going to have this like mode that will like rotate, and I'm completely down with that. They're also going to do a preview of something called Outpost Rush Bare Bones, which initially I was like, oh, it's a new map. It's not a new map, it's the existing maps, except what it's going to do is strip away all of the perks. Your gear will effectively become irrelevant. You'll get max gear score. Nobody will have any perks, no weapon perks or anything like that, and the goal will be to play the game and have fun. Effectively equalized gearing, and they've done it in a way where you can't rely on any perks, everybody will be in the same boat. It's not like you can pick and choose perks, you literally just won't have any. I kind of feel like the meta will be completely different in that mode than the normal mode, but they say it's effectively, hey, if you don't have any gear, you can still play it, and if you are the best PvPer, you can go in there and still dominate. Prove that it's not the gear, prove that it's your skill. Fair enough, I like the sound of this, but I kind of feel like this will be unsuccessful, but we'll see. There's also going to be a new 3v3 arena map. This again is going to come in the form of a preview. This map is bigger than the normal ones, but the circle will start sooner, but it's going to be bigger, so it'll end at the same point. Like the rounds in theory shouldn't be longer, and the idea there is that the range will get an advantage at the start of the game because the map is bigger, and then obviously very quickly or at the normal rate the map starts shrinking and maybe melee will come into focus there. The visuals on this from the video, I've got to say, look really cool, and I'm happy to have another arena map. I have no qualms with that. What a good decision. Yeah, easy. They're also going to be doing this thing called Expeditions Unleashed World Bosses. Now, what these are going to be is that there's going to be basically bosses from Expeditions, and they're going to become open world bosses. Now, these are going to be here for 1 week per boss every 4 weeks. So basically, so like within a 4-week period, there'll be 1 week of that where there's a new expedition boss, and they'll have a new item that's 725 gear score that you're probably going to want, and there'll be like rotating lower gear score that you can get from them. But that'll be there forever. It's not specifically like going to end, and this is actually where we get into content that is definitely coming in Season 8, by the way. Something else that is coming in Season 8 is the Barbershop. It's effectively the same UI as when you create your character, but you know, you get it with a new token. I thought they were going to use the transmog token or maybe rename it, but no, it's a separate token altogether. You can buy it. You can also earn it in game, I think they said, or at least earn it from the season pass. And you will do this from the Stylemancer, so the same place that you do transmog. They do say earnable through gameplay, so I don't know, you could get them. Also, it was worth noting that the transmog tokens were earnable through gameplay, but then they removed that. So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily rely too much on that. Or I would get it while it's hot. They are going to bring back the seasonal events. Now, most of these are the same, apart from the fact that there is a new one. There's going to be this thing called Faction Fest Expeditions. Now, this is where the factions are going to compete by doing PvE, doing the expeditions either with your faction or on your own. The details on this were very scarce. They didn't really say anything, but you know, a new event that I'm guessing is a seasonal event that will come back every year. They talk about the season pass rewards, but I don't care about that. There are going to be 7 new powerful artifacts. Now, there's going to be a crown, a helm here, which is going to be plus 10 to all attributes. And now it's a good job that it comes with this bonus gem functionality, because I was like, oh, don't we already have the attuned leather pants with plus 15? But yes, there's going to be one of them. It doesn't actually say if it's light, medium, or heavy. It just says head. There's going to be a new tower shield, which is going to do something for your team. Maybe adding armor to your entire squad. And enhanced healing. I'm presuming that means like when you get healed a little bit like Hank. There's going to be a light chest that will give you lifesteal and mana synergy. A new sword that will actually increase your threat and then do damage mitigation on crits. I'm assuming that's designed to tank. But whether or not it will actually be worth it, because you might sacrifice damage, who knows? There's going to be a new blunderbuss. Now, they actually said that this launches enemies with a fiery blast shot. This apparently like knocks people back, right? And they were kind of joking now in the capture the flag mode. When they tested these jump pads, they had it so they were automatically like triggering. So if you knock somebody onto it, it would then send them flying. They turned off the jump pads to be automatic. You know, I think I have to press a button or jump or something on it. There's also going to be a speed boost after using your heart rune with some heavy boots, and light hands that are going to let the empower stack with ability usage. That sounds toxic, I'm not gonna lie. But wait, there's more! Right, we'll talk about this patch and then we'll talk about the future, because we also have an update to the roadmap. There's been some tech improvements. Now, this one interesting to me because they've improved the performance and visuals for NVIDIA GPUs, or NVIDIA, I probably should say. And that's what I use, so I'm happy about that one. And also DirectX 12 now is going to be the default, because I'm presuming they're happy with it. Then they talk about combat and quality of life updates. Now, there's something very interesting here, but it's probably a little bit too late. There's officially now going to be PvP camps. So if you are PvP flagged and you make a tent, that tent will be destroyable. Huge. I mean, it's a bit too late. I don't know how many people are really doing influence races or open world PvP combat right now, but I mean, that change is fantastic. We've needed that for a long time, I think. There's also going to be like this ready up thing. So like if you're in arena and outpost rush, I think they actually said it's going to be in there as well. If in arena everybody's readied up, the game will just start. And in outpost rush, I think they said it's going to start off with 25 people. So if 25 people are ready, the game's going to start. Just try and stop waiting around. There's also going to be a spectator cam. Now, what I would really, really love is to be able to watch this spectator cam even if you weren't in the game, because it'd be really cool to like commentate and stuff like that. But basically, you're going to be able to watch your friends or foes if you die. And that actually applies to arena. Not outpost rush, because the respawn's going to be too quick, I think, but also expeditions. If you die and you get stuck out of a boss, apparently you're going to be able to like walk over to it and check how your team's doing, which is pretty cool. There's 5 new potions. There's no cleanse potion per se, but you know, there's something close enough. There's going to be a burst regen potion, which is a small burst of healing followed by passive regen for the duration. Combination of health and regen potions. I mean, fair enough. I kind of felt that's what the regen serum was, but all right, whatever. Then there's going to be a new health potion, which is kind of shorter duration, but less healing. A shield potion, which literally just cancels the damage of the next 3 hits taken, or the timer runs out. A grit potion, which just grants grit during it. Not a cleanse potion, but you know, as close as we're going to get, I think. And then there's another potion that'll enhance the lifesteal. You know, that's going to be toxic with something like Void Blade or Hatchet, but okay, there you go. And then they're going to be cooking even more with some target lock updates. Now, that sounds not very interesting, but actually these changes are very welcome, I think. What they're doing is they're reducing the magnetism on controller. So you might have seen some videos where like it would lead for you and it would hit people, even though it probably shouldn't. They've toned that down, I think. I don't think they've removed it necessarily. They've just reduced the amount. Target lock now breaks if somebody like dodges through you. Normally what happens right now is if somebody like dodges through you, your camera will turn. Now it turns slowly, but now it's actually just going to break the lock, which they say that like, when you use like the burnout, you won't do the like circle thing anymore, which is good. And then the big one for me, because this is actually the one that I personally use the most, which is target lock when aiming down sights. Like there'll be many times that I'm streaming, and if I'm playing like bow or musket, if there's like a cluster flip of a fight, I will literally just lock on. And I mean, sometimes I'll close my eyes and just keep shooting, and you just keep hitting, right? Because there's just chaos, and it's way better doing that than trying to find a target. Anyway, for bow, blunderbuss, which is important because the blunderbuss is finally nerfed, bow, blunderbuss, and musket, you're just not going to be using lock-on while you're aiming down sights. It'll still apply to maybe like the fire staff abilities and stuff like that, but yeah, that's gone. Some huge changes to target lock. But that's not all. In the dev video, they had this as well. And there's some really interesting stuff coming. One of them is, and I'm just going to show you on my mouse, when they, Katie was talking about a new weapon, and she did something like this with her hands. Now, I'm not going to say it was guaranteed to be pistols, but it very strongly looked like pistols thinking about it. Could be daggers. I'd say that you will need 2 hands for this weapon. It looks like it's going to be a dual wielding weapon. And I think this is effectively going to come in the expansion, probably in season 9. Could be something else, but I think pistols are likely because they did say at one point that daggers weren't going to be next. So yeah. And pistols, I think, were in one of the trailers. It makes sense, actually. It makes sense. I thought it was going to be daggers. I don't know. A bit of me thinks it's going to be daggers still, but I don't know why. That new zone, by the way, is confirmed to be a new zone. Not a different zone leveled up. It's going to be a new zone and look completely different and all that kind of stuff. Think like Brimstone Sands, but obviously not Brimstone Sands. That new PvP mode, one of the devs was like, oh, I'm very excited about the new PvP mode. You're going to like it. And then Katie said something like, you'll be trying to get the crown. And for me, when I think crown and I think PvP, I'm thinking a battle royale. Kind of soft confirmed right there, considering that they also said that was one of the modes that they were thinking about along when they spoke about capture the flag. So for me, that makes the most sense. I don't think it's actually in here, right? Oh, actually it is. There we go. I couldn't see it. Attributes saved with gear sets. That is confirmed pretty much. So you're going to be able to like have your attributes saved with your gear set. So if you, instead of like changing gear sets all the time and then having to redo the attributes, it'll just do it like that, which is beautiful, to be honest. Let's be honest, that's fantastic. We've needed that for a while. They spoke about like changing the end game and horizontal progression and stuff like that. They did talk about set bonuses. No real details on that, to be honest. They spoke about how they're currently prototyping this procedural expedition mode with extraction, which I think the working title is going to be Infinite Expeditions, which I don't really fully know how it will work, but it's procedurally generated dungeons that you'll be able to just keep going through. Whether or not you do it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, I don't know. Maybe they don't know yet. It's apparently being prototyped though. I don't really like the idea of raid difficulties, but I do like the idea of a new raid. I'd say most of this stuff here is probably going to be coming in the expansion. They never spoke about pickup wars, but I think pickup wars might be in that new PvP mode, battle royales, a new outpost rush map. Yeah, all looking good. I think they're really kind of cooking. The inner exploration phase, I don't think that'll be like in the expansion. I think that'll be beyond that. Ranked PvP will be on that. The new zone, new weapon will probably be in the next expansion after this expansion, if there is going to be an expansion. Behind me, and you can't really see it, but it says account-wide progression and new travel mechanics, which very interesting. I'm not really sure what they mean there. I'd be curious if they ever did something like flight paths, something like that. Well, actually, it says new travel mechanics. Wait, let me show you that. It actually says new travel mechanics, and I'm wondering, maybe they're talking about flying mounts. That could be in there, actually. I mean, that'd be exciting. Some guild stuff. I don't think anything in here is revolutionary. But oh, gardening and farming. That was, I think they talk about new progression, new profession. Gardening, farming. Oh, I can't see because of my big fat head. Gardening and farming is right there. Yeah, really cool stuff here, but I'm not too interested in this section. It's really this section that I think will happen probably in the expansion. Oh, yo, customizable HUD. Oh, huge. Actually, I could do with that. Honestly, I really think they're cooking. I think they're cooking. It's probably 3.5 years too late to start seeing this because they spent all that time reworking the MSQ and getting console out and stuff like that. But genuinely, it's nice to see that the mode pipeline is in full effect and it is actually working. that capture the flag map and stuff like that, they both look good. The new arena map looks good. Talking about a new PvP mode, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, really exciting stuff. Really genuinely exciting stuff. Kind of crazy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I was planning on playing June, and I'm thinking about reconsidering, you know? I'm thinking about reconsidering. I'm loving the sound of New World right now. I was going to do June on this channel, but now I'm like, but do I though? I don't know. Have a beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.